Goes to the hospital. First doctor he meets, the doctor is just like, "Oh, how you doing? Whatever, medical history, I'm sure." And then he's like, "Wait a second, Yamaguchi?"
What's up, pimp? I've seen you since since high school or since college, dude. What's going on? You look like shit.
You look like shit. And Yamaguchi's like, "I just got blown the fuck up, dude."
Oh my god.
Hello, and welcome to Time Well Meant, the show where we can't tell the difference between incredible luck and terrible circumstances. Whether you are a new or returning listener, thanks so much for being here with us today. Normally on this show, we like to discuss a few topics, our main ones being gaming, the goings-ons of the internet world, and most importantly, mental health and how that affects each and every one of us. But I'm blowing all of that up today for one very special deep dive episode. And I have a really cool topic. I hope you're going to enjoy it. I think it's a cool story, very much in line with my deep dives that I've done before. We're going to talk about bombs. Forewarning, I'm going to do my best to avoid the low-hanging fruit of all the explosive dad jokes, but I am who I am. And I'm Kirby, by the way. I'm joined as always by a man of culture and influence from east to west, a man who blows me away every single day. Silas, how are you doing today, buddy?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm tired. We had some technical difficulties before we started. It's been a day. It's been a day, man. Yeah, normally we'd be talking about that probably, but no. Now we're gonna talk about bombs. I did not know that that's
talking
what
about
it
bombs,
was.
baby.
That's awesome. I'm very excited. It's definitely. I think what I'm excited about most is just kind of sit back, pet my cat, and listen to you tell me this story. I don't know what's going on. I have no clue. I think you gave me a few hints, but not too many. So
I like to drop little breadcrumbs to you to let you know what's coming, but not fully let you know.
For sure. So what are we talking about today?
I'll get to it. Calm down.
Okay. Well, damn, girl.
You gotta build up. You gotta build up. All right. We're padding this one out.
Okay.
No. In all reality, this is a really cool story. I do apologize to anybody. My notes are a little bit disjointed on this one due to some time and some life stuff going on, but we're going to get through it. It's going to be good. Today's story is about a man from Japan, because we're all about Japan here. It's always Japan in Time Well Meant.
We really got to switch the countries up one of these days. It's been Japanese racehorses, World War II, and Japan entering our minds, and now we're talking about Japan again. We really got to switch it up, man. We got to pick a different country next time.
Shit. Okay. Well, that's actually on you, because the next deep dive is on you. This one was on me, and I also went Japan World War II. My bad.
It's gonna be one of those things where it's like, whoops, I picked Japan World War II again. Sorry.
Whoops.
Happenstance. My bad.
All right. I'm curious if the name, and I'm just gonna preface all this by saying sorry if I say the first name wrong. Tsutomu Yamaguchi. Does that name mean anything to you?
Not particularly. No, not right now, at least. Yamaguchi sounds familiar, but I feel like it's fairly common.
So this incredibly lucky and incredibly unlucky man survived both atomic blasts in Hiroshima and Nagasaki and lived on to 93 years old.
Wow.
Yes.
Holy shit.
I'm going to talk about that man today because it's a wild story.
It already sounds like it. I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right, let's kick this off. So the morning of August 6th, Monday, August 6th, 1945. Yamaguchi is a 29-year-old engineer. He's working for Mitsubishi Heavy, which is the division of Mitsubishi that focuses exclusively on heavy machinery.
Oh.
He's designing oil tankers. Him and his wife and his son live in Nagasaki, Japan. He's currently on a 3-month work assignment where he's been tasked with traveling to Hiroshima. And today is the 90th day. He quite literally needs to wake up, go to work, get on the train, and go home to his wife and his less than 1 year old baby.
Oh, man.
And he's excited. He's happy. He's been here for 3 months, man. He's sick of this shit. About 8:15 in the morning. No. Even earlier than that. Him and his coworkers wake up, and they're going to go and hop on the train and go. But he had forgotten some important paperwork. So he tells his coworkers, go on. You guys go ahead. Go home. I'll see you later. And he has to walk back to the Mitsubishi shipping yard, which is like right on a dock. Now the time's about 8:15 in the morning, and he's, just whistling and walking down the street. Do-do-do. And he looks up, and he sees an airplane. He hears, like, the drone of an airplane engine. This is World War II, so it's not exactly the craziest thing to see. But, dude, this guy literally looks up, and he sees the Enola Gay. And he watches something fall out of it. And he sees the little parachute, and that was the little boy atomic bomb. He was roughly 2 miles away from the point where it hit. So, I mean, dude, this is the part that kind of blows me away, and what drew me to this story is this guy is just the most normal dude in the world. 29 years old, just working, trying to get home to the wife and kids, just walking down the street, and like, what the fuck is that? And it's the world's first atomic bomb.
Jeez.
So, the bomb goes off. In his own words that he would go on much later in life, there's a period, I'll talk about this a little later. He doesn't talk about any of this after it happens for like years. He's, I would assume, traumatized.
Yeah, I would assume so. It's a very traumatic experience.
Right?
You're like, I'm just at work. Now my work is gone and everything else is gone and it's gone. Oh, shit.
He doesn't talk about it much, but then much later in his life, he goes on and he tells the whole tale and he talks about it. He does a documentary, which was a really good watch. It's called Twice. The documentary is called Twice.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right? A little on the nose.
Oh, my God.
So anyways, he describes it at that moment as he looked up, he sees it, he's kind of puzzled, and then it's just a flash of white, and he's tossed, like, across the street into a ditch.
Oh, shit.
And in his own words, he said that he fainted. He had no idea what happened. He opens his eyes, and the world is just, I mean, it just got nuked. It's on fire.
Yeah.
People all around him are destroyed. Buildings, roofs, everything. So what do? I mean, you just woke up, right? You're in a ditch. And so the left side of his body got some pretty severe burns. Ooh. His eardrums, both of them were ruptured. And from the blast, he was kind of partially blinded, which will wear off in near time. But as of right now, he's pretty blind, pretty deaf, burnt up. Clothes are all like ripped and tattered and shit. He's in a burning city. So what's he going to do, right? I mean, he's not just going to lay there and die. So he walks, hobbles, struggles, whatever, to the nearest shelter that he can find. He starts talking to the people that are there. Nobody has any idea because at this point in time, there was no atomic bomb. Mm-hmm. The idea that we just watched one single bomb fall and cause all of this destruction is crazy. Yeah. At that time, they would expect like 1,000, I'm making that up, but 1,000 bombs would do all this. This was one, and we just saw one. What the fuck just happened here? They get their bearings a little bit. He stays there for a couple hours, collects himself. Everybody's injured, right? Everybody's fucked up. People are trying to help each other, of course, but there's only so much you can do when everybody is injured. He ends up kind of hearing like a rumor, I guess, that there is a train station somewhere kind of somewhat nearby. I didn't look up distance. Sorry. That is supposedly still running trains, and he could potentially get out of the city. So he decides he's going to go there. He's got to get back to his wife and his kid. That's his main goal. He starts moving along the way. Sorry, I'm fuzzy on the details here, but he does end up actually for the night of August 6th, he stays in a bomb shelter, or like a shelter of some variety. Not the same one he started at. He went to another shelter, and he runs into the dudes that he left that morning at the train. When he forgot shit, and then he was like, go on without me. They went to go to the train. The bomb dropped, and they all got blasted. That train station was fucked. They end up going to the nearest bomb shelter, which is the one that he finds himself at later. I believe there was two coworkers with him.
Wow.
So they're crashing there that night. They know there's a train that's going to get them back to Nagasaki, where they're all from. And they just kind of set their minds at night. We're going to rest up and we're going home tomorrow. And in like a wild adventure, because how else would it happen in this just crazy environment of a bomb just went off? They sleep through the night. They wake up. They start making their way across the city. As I said earlier, everything's destroyed. Everything. Maybe we should post pictures here or something. I don't know, dude. It's just so crazy.
I'll post some pictures of the aftermath of Hiroshima and Nagasaki so people can. I think there's not really, unless you see the aftermath, it's hard to really picture it. It's like the city was fucking gone. Yeah. There's plenty of documentaries and stuff that kind of cover the makings of the bomb and then the creation, the testing. I mean, it's a monumental feat by like in the theater of war, right? I've been watching the Pacific, all right. So, but in the theater of war, it is a huge deal. Like nothing had ever been made that was this destructive. The process to go about making the bomb was a feat by that many scientific minds were brought together for. It was a race between the Americans and the Germans to who could make one first. And obviously the Americans won. They never got the chance to use it on the Germans because they were going to use it on the Germans, but they used it on the Japanese instead. And I don't know if you know I'll kind of intervene for just a second. I don't know if you know the reason why we ended up using the bombs. It's because we didn't want to fight on mainland Japan, because the casualties that would have happened fighting, this is kind of to my rough knowledge about World War II and how bloody of a war and destructive of a war it was. We were already like multiple years into this war, and fighting on mainland Japan would have meant, I mean, like I talked about in my deep dive, like the way the Imperial Japan kind of operated. They were like to the last person. Surrender. There was no surrender. So it would have been hundreds of thousands, not only Japanese, if not millions of Japanese dying. It would have also been, hundreds of thousands of more Americans. And so to avoid all of that bloodshed, they were like, well, we're going to drop these fucking bombs because now we got it. And that was that. I mean, it was one of those things where like you clearly are outmatched here. And because they were like, we're going to drop 2 here and we will drop another one if we have to. And it was like, we're done. We surrender. And that was that. That was like all right, bud, maybe we don't do this anymore, so.
It's so wild to think about. I mean, we're sitting here as Americans, like, I'm not exactly proud of this, but I mean, that's history, I guess. I didn't make any decisions here. I'm just a guy. Right?
Yeah.
I'm just a dude on a podcast. All right. Yeah. But yeah, dude, something about that just really like sticks with me so deep. Like, you've been blown up, you're confused, your whole shipyard where you worked for the past 3 months is leveled. You're just like, okay,
yeah.
I guess I go home to my wife, right? What else do I do? And then it just becomes this adventure of like 2 bomb shelters, and you hear this like rumor because there's no phones or anything, there's no internet, none of that shit. 1945, It's like, oh. You hear like whispers, there's a train station. The one train station is running. And they just decide they're going to go. That's it. It does remind me, maybe just a little bit, this was that beat that I was talking about where like it feels in line with the other things I've chosen, like Ernest Shackleton.
Yeah.
He's like, we're just going to make this trek. We got this little boat. We'll do it. Whatever.
Going on an adventure.
There's no other path. This is what must be done. And man will overcome.
Oh, man.
So they set out. They're trekking through the city. I don't actually know how well they knew the city or if that might have, like, navigating would have given them issues, but they're traveling, and what they come across is a river full of floating dead people. This is one where actually in the podcast that I listened to in my research and the documentary seemed a little different, so maybe a grain of salt here. The documentary, which I'm a little bit more inclined to believe because he was in it. He was speaking in it, or like his voice was. He said that they saw all these bodies in the river, and his concern was, if I have to swim across this river full of death and I have burns all along the left side of my body. I'm going to get a massive infection. I'm going to die.
Mm-hmm.
So they searched for a way to cross. Allegedly, the math, what was it, like 1.5 kilometers or something they had to travel. They finally find a bridge. They cross a bridge. That puts them way off course, but they keep trekking through the death, burning, horrible city. And they do end up finding the train station. And it is running.
Wow.
So they catch the train. And the way it's described is a train of death. Because every single person on this train, which is absolutely jam-packed full, is people who just got blown the fuck up.
Yeah.
Trying to get back home. So imagine just sitting on a train full of like maimed people, you know, like this guy's like got a bandage here and missing half an arm and just like a sling, or, you know, that's crazy, dude. Everybody's all dirty and shit. But hey, gotta get home. And he takes the train back to Nagasaki. They arrive. This is we started on August 6th. He gets home on the 8th, right? He gets home, and because one of the first things he does when he gets back to Nagasaki is he goes to a hospital. In like a weird twist of fate, as a good story has, the doctor who he goes and sees is like his old classmate from college or something. And in the documentary, he described how the classmate didn't recognize him because of the burns on his face. And like it's like, I imagine with radiation and shit, it's probably like pussing and like bubbling and really gross.
It depends on like the level of exposure, but yeah.
Yeah.
Burns will definitely be, they're pretty rough shit. Like kills your your nerves and all that shit. Yeah, it fucks you up. Depending on the degree,
his vision, his vision is back at this point, but he's still mostly deaf. Like his eardrums got ruptured. It just sounds so miserable. And then just limping, walking, just hobbling home, taking this horrible train, looking at the river of death and being like, no, I'm not swim in that. No thanks.
Yeah.
Gets on the train, gets home, goes to the hospital. First doctor he meets, the doctor is just like, oh, how you doing? Whatever, medical history, I'm sure, and shit. And then he's like, wait a second. Yamaguchi?
What's up, pimp? I ain't seen you since high school or since college, dude. What's going on? You look like shit.
You look like shit. And Yamaguchi's like, I just got blown the fuck up, dude.
Oh, my God. Oh, shit.
So his old buddy gets him all bandaged up and sends him home. And he finally makes it home, and his wife and son. Of course, you can imagine that's like the most emotional thing, right?
Yeah.
They heard the news that Hiroshima was exploded, and they, no phones, no internet, you can't hear from him. And he just comes walking in the door, all fucked up.
Honey, I'm home.
It's wonderful. It's great. He's alive. That is on, like I said, that's on the 8th. He's home. He's bandaged. He's with his family. Finally gets a good night's rest. Maybe a shower. I don't know if he's bandaged up, but whatever. The morning of August 9th, my man Yamaguchi. You want to guess what he does, Silas?
Wakes up, has a good old cup of joe.
That's right. That's step 1. What do you think step 2 was, though? Because us Americans would never guess step 2. I promise you that.
Does he... I'm trying to think about Japanese culture now. Is it something... does he pray? I don't know. What does he do? What is he doing? Enlighten me.
He wakes up and he goes to work.
Oh,
That's Japanese work culture.
Oh, man.
He's blown up,
Holy
bandaged,
shit.
barely slept.
You know
He's
what?
like, baby, I gotta go to work. Mitsubishi needs me.
Oh, my God. Brother, take the day off. Take the day.
Dude, take a sick day. Take a sick day, bro.
He's like...
They
I mean, I gotta go. Yeah. It's like, well, my 90 days was done yesterday. So I'm back home. I'll be home for dinner tonight. Don't worry. Surely nothing could go wrong.
Yeah. Surely nothing like that once-in-a-lifetime experience that just happened to me a couple days ago could happen again.
What the fuck?
I'm going to go talk to the boss, finish up the TP reports, get some free coffee in the break room, maybe some snacks.
Holy
and I'll
shit.
come home. No worries, baby.
That's insane.
Dude, I know. That part just blows my fucking mind. You couldn't get me back to the office.
No, hell no. No.
I'm bandaged up. My eardrums. Shit's ringing.
Huh? Just around the office. What? So I can't hear. I got blown up yesterday. Sorry. Yamaguchi, you look like shit. I don't want to hear it, bud.
Huh?
Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Oh my god. I would have never guessed that. I'm like, man, maybe he I don't know, rested. Holy shit. But right back on that grind, baby.
My man Yamaguchi is on that hustle culture.
I can never complain about work again. I can never be like, oh man, my leg hurts. I don't want to go in today. I got to walk around. Oh god, I have a little headache. I didn't get fucking blown up by a nuke and then go back into work. This is actually blowing my mind. Holy shit, that's fucking awesome. This guy's crazy.
That's our boy Yamaguchi. He's dedicated to his family, number one. He got home, he checked on them. They're chilling. Yeah. Gotta get back to work.
Get back to work. Holy shit. Oh, man.
So, burnt up and bandaged, he makes his way back to work at the Mitsubishi office warehouse. I don't know. And so do both of the coworkers that were on the train with him.
Fuck
They're
yeah.
back too.
Right back to work.
Right back to work, dude. And the senior director of their department or of their facility, I don't know the details. The senior director wants to know what took him so long to get back home.
Guys, what the fuck? We have deadlines to meet, dude. What's going on? Oh my god. Oh shit.
So they have to have a meeting. They're in the director. These same guys,
fuck yeah,
the senior director, are in a meeting, and they are explaining to him, you've heard the news that Hiroshima got fucking leveled. There's nothing left. You heard that, right? We were there. You knew we were there. You assigned us to be there,
dude. Where do you think we were? None of us called out sick, man.
Do
we
you
were
see
there.
This? The bandages?
Ah?
Look at it. He peels it up. Look at this.
What? You want to know what I'm using for bait? No. Why are you late? Where do you want me to move this crate? Huh? My God. This is insane. Here's the thing. Ernest was a crazy guy, but he didn't get fucking blown up by a nuke, dude. And then go back to work the next
Go straight back to work. Straight back to work.
Oh, man. Holy shit.
So, they are in a meeting. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier.
Fucking meeting.
Yeah, they're in a meeting. Calm down.
I just can't. So what'd you guys do yesterday?
Traveled the death train. I looked at the Death River.
What the fuck? That's fucking crazy. Oh, man.
So they're in their meeting.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Now, as I said earlier, we've never seen a nuke before. That was the first one. Nobody understands how one plane flew overhead and the entire city was leveled.
Yeah.
So these guys are there explaining it. We saw it. We watched one plane fly. We watched one thing fall out of that plane. And
Kinda
look at my
like
face.
that over there.
The director's not having it. He's not believing it.
Let me show you.
And then in that fucking moment, Silas, of all the fucking moments, the Fat Man nuke was dropped on Nagasaki.
Christ.
And yet again, our main man Yamaguchi, everything goes white. He's blasted back onto the floor. Glass goes everywhere. They're in an office building full of windows and things. Luckily for him, this time because he was in a building that had a lot more coverage, he didn't get blasted. He didn't get burnt. Just got tossed to the ground. Probably cut up and bruised and things. But yeah. But he's okay.
He's like, see? Do you see what I mean?
Dude, that would be the moment of all moments to be like, I fucking told you so.
This is why I was late. Me and my coworkers have a better excuse than anyone will ever have in the history of anybody late to work ever, dude. What took you guys so long? That right there is what took us so long.
That right there. Why you on the ground, boss? Tell me why you're on the ground, boss. You got cuts from the glass. Tell me.
Oh,
Tell me what happened.
Tell me.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Boss is like, huh? Holy shit. Oh my God.
So this time Yamaguchi understands. He knows immediately we just got nuked again.
Yeah.
He tries to help people around him, tries to help his coworkers, his boss, whatever, get to safety, get people safe. Yet again, we're looking at an absolute disaster zone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the city was half leveled. I should have the numbers of how many people Japan lost.
So it's the initial blast would have taken a certain amount of people, but the following months,
months after.
Of radiation exposure is kind of what really did a lot of damage. Same with like Chernobyl. Chernobyl was the initial fallout was pretty minuscule. It was the weeks, months, and years afterwards of people, who had major radiation exposure that just fucking died because of how, it was a disaster. Dude, radiation is nuts, dude. Radiation is really nuts.
There was a description in both of the bombing scenarios where he's walking home and he sees people and their skin is melting off of their extremities. Like,
yeah.
That's horrible, dude.
Yeah.
And then I can only imagine, like, what does radiation do to your guts?
Well, so interesting little side note. Funnily enough, happening in Japan as well. Again, there was a guy, and I really wish I could name him off the top of my head. If I remember, I'll put his name up now. Who, so Japan relied a lot on, obviously, and a lot of the world has and still does rely on nuclear technology and nuclear power. And at some point, they were doing an experiment, and he got exposed to a nuclear core. It was a smaller nuclear core. And immediately, he got hit with like direct radiation, right? Like basically like it, rather than a blast, because the thing about a nuclear blast is it's a couple things. It's the radiation release, but it's also the actual physical blast of the bomb.
Like the concussive force.
Yes. It's a combination kind of thing. But this guy just got hit with the pure radiation, and he lived or at least he was kept alive for, it's something like 73 days or like 90 something days. And throughout that time, he's rapidly, over this, few, weeks or months period, rapidly deteriorating. And there's images of him basically, melted into the bed that he was on. Because they kept him alive. A big part of it was, hey man, we need to study you. Like, this is something that's never happened to another human being. This is it's a awful, horrific thing, but it's an incredible scientific revelation for the effects of radiation on the human body. And that sort of thing it gave us a huge knowledge about what the effects of radiation and how fucking dangerous it is. Because people used to take, fucking uranium and
uranium plates and cups.
Yeah, we had uranium and all sorts of shit and exposed to radiation. I think like housewives used to use it as like a cleanser or some shit. Like, it used to be in a lot. So we literally lived in a nuclear household. But this guy, literally, like his skin started to deteriorate. He was literally kept alive. It wasn't a choice at that point. I can't remember if he decided that he gave an okay or what. I'd have to do more research. I'm not gonna, say yes or no whether or not. But it's a horrific. There's pictures of it, and it's horrific. watching what radiation can truly do to a human.
Did he look like that jellyfish man from the X-Men movie?
I don't know. I don't know. I'd have
Like
to
when
see
he
a
turns
picture.
into like a fish and he's all blobby and melty?
No. This guy was like, it looks like he's burnt but still wet. It's hard to, yeah, that's kind of the best way I could try. I mean, it's literally melting, rotting from the outside in. I mean, when I tell you, like, within the first couple of weeks, his skin, like you're describing, his skin was melting off. You know, all of his organs began to shut down pretty rapidly. But at the same time, it was like he deteriorated. I mean, it's literally like watching someone decompose, but in fast forward.
Alive.
Yeah. And so it's a horrific tale. Definitely, like, you know, if it's something that you've ever thought about, wow, you know, how bad is radiation? That's like the worst that we've seen it. At least that we've monitored. Obviously you have plenty of, you know, Chernobyl and,
dude.
you know, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Like, there's places where we've been able to monitor it, but that was like observable, researchable, like, holy shit. You know what I mean? So,
Dude.
yeah. And it's in
Cheers
Japan, like Japan, dude.
guy.
What's
Damn.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm trying to imagine I'm like horrifically maimed.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the only example I could think of is like my head was removed from my body, but somehow my head is still alive. And scientists or doctors are like, hey, listen, bud, we know this sucks. We got to keep you alive and study this. This is wacky.
This is
crazy,
crazy,
man.
And again, I mean, thanks to that guy, we learned a lot, because everything was documented. He was in a controlled environment the entire time. He was in a hospital the entire time, basically.
Was he in pain?
Oh, immense.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks for that clarification.
I don't necessarily. I mean, I don't know what sort of regimen. Like, I'm obviously, again,
They drug him up. They had to drug him up.
I don't know.
Dude, I'm saying, if I'm nothing but a head, you better give me the best drugs.
You got to think about, like, so he was experiencing, like, again, his whole body rotting, like, all at once. It wasn't like, oh, it started with his foot. No, it was like everything at once was like deteriorating and decaying at such a rapid pace. You know what I mean? Like, they were quite literally, they were keeping him alive. And I want to say it was like 2 months that they kept him alive. It was only like 70 days. I remember, the thing about it is, I recently looked this up because I was like, oh, I remember that story. And I remember looking it up and being like, it's way longer than I thought. I was like, oh, he only lived like 10 days. No, he lived, it's I know it's over a month. And I want to say it's like 70 days or something like that. It might be 60. But the guy lived for a good, way longer than he fucking should have. You know what I mean? Yeah. Radiation's no fucking joke, man. Radiation is no joke. It's scary shit, dude.
Yeah.
Especially when come in contact to the human body. So, yeah.
You know, I wish I had the details. Yet another thing I've missed in my notes, but I don't know how far away he was from that second blast.
I would assume a good ways away if he, you know, if
he ended up living, so he did not get immensely radiated. And one of the things they notated, even on the first blast, on the second one they talked about, he's in the building, so that's going to block some of the wave coming in. Sure. In the second one, he was just walking down the street, but it's believed that maybe just the building he was next to happened, you know, whatever angle he was at,
shielded him
caught
a
that
bit.
Blast and shielded him just enough, because there was definitely, you know, people all around him that were melted into the floor.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry to derail, but I'm so like distracted by this man. Wait, in the photos, you said there's photos.
Yeah. There's photos. I
don't know if we'd be able to post melted man photos on YouTube.
No.
Okay, but describe it to me. Because in my mind, his body is melting, but his head is fine.
Yeah.
But I feel like his head would have to melt.
I'm gonna find the irradiated guy kept alive. This is Hisashi Ochi. This is in 1999. 83 days. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Yes, 83 days.
Let me see it. Let me get a live reaction.
Hold on. Yeah. So there were 3 workers. So it's called the Tokaimura. We're just gonna I'm reading this off Wikipedia.
That's okay.
Tokaimura nuclear accident was a serious nuclear radiation accident in Japan. It took place at a uranium reprocessing facility in Tokaimura, which is northeast of Japan. The accident occurred in a very small fuel preparation plant operated by JCO. The direct cause of the accident was workers putting uranyl nitrate solution containing about 16.6 kilograms of uranium, which exceeds the critical mass, into a precipitation tank. I know nothing about nuclear technology. Who knows?
I bet Yamaguchi would.
Shit. The tank was not designed to dissolve this type of solution, was not designated to prevent such an accident from occurring. 3 workers were exposed. Exposed to neutron radiation doses in excess of allowable limits. 2 of these workers later died. Many emergency workers and nearby residents were hospitalized, and hundreds of thousands of others were forced to remain indoors for 24 hours. So, holy shit, big incident. So, 3 workers who worked in the uranium facility, they were Hisashi Ochi, Masato Shinohara, and Yutaka Yokokawa. 2 of them died of
good with these names.
Yeah, I watch a lot of anime, baby. 2 of them died of radiation poisoning. Hisashi Ochi, age 35, died 12 weeks after the incident. 12 fucking weeks. Holy shit. He had lost most 35? Of his... 35. He lived for 83 days. He lost most of his skin and was kept alive for 83 days, according to the wishes of his parents and wife. Oh shit, so it wasn't even him. Ochi was...
I'm haunting that bitch. I'm haunting that bitch for all my days.
Holy shit. Ochi was closest to the tank when the accident occurred. He ended up being the first victim of this nuclear accident. 7 months after the accident, Masato Shinohara died at the age of 40. Oshi was reported to have received 17 sieverts of radiation. 8 sieverts is considered fatal, so he got a lot more than what's fucking...
He doubled it and lived for 80 days?
Live for 80 days. Another 83 words.
That said...
I'm going to get some pictures. I'm going to get some pictures to send you.
That said that he was the first in the blast? Like, he was the first exposed?
He was the closest.
Nearest?
He was the closest.
Yeah, closest.
So I'm going to send this to you.
And then he lived the longest?
So I want you to...
I kind of get why we studied him. Clearly, that man was built different.
Yes. So I'm gonna show you this. This is a picture. I'm just gonna put this in fucking Kirby's Worst Nightmares. This is the picture.
That's probably where it belongs.
Of him. Just that, obviously, it's a fucking Google thing. This is the picture of him near the end. Hold on, let me grab this. That's him calling, right as treatment started. Just that, imagine that face. This is him at the end. Yeah, so like melted.
There's nothing left.
Yeah. Yep.
And he was alive?
He was alive. Yeah. In that image, he's alive. Yep.
Yeah. That shit is horrible. Horrific. I need that off my monitor.
Yeah. So it was pretty, from what I understand, the incident and the caretaking and everything from, because you see the picture of him, he's just a normal looking guy, to what the end result is very well documented. I'm pretty sure there's an actual documentary about him. Sorry to derail all this.
No, that's okay.
But yeah, anyway, so it's a fucking crazy story if you ever want to look up Hisashi Ochi. I mean, literally just a fucking normal dude, like working
Just
at
doing
his
his
job and yeah.
Kind of similar to Yamaguchi, just working your job, you get blasted.
Yeah.
But I guess that man was kind of working around blasting materials, and Yamaguchi was just like, I'm gonna go make an oil tanker today.
Yeah. And again, I that's kind of one of the most. So first of all, like he's one of the most like well documented. Like we get to see now from start to finish what this shit does. Like to a degree that we've never ever seen. But very sad fucking case, man. I remember learning about that and being like, holy shit! Of course it's just one of the most fucking horrific things. And it happens in Japan. Damn.
Yeah.
Can't catch a break.
What year did you say that was?
This was 1999. He died in 2000.
99.
Yes.
Not even that long ago. Wow.
No.
Damn, I was playing in the dirt in my front yard, and that man was dying.
Same. Yeah, Japan has not had a
Slowly.
good track record with anything nuclear. So there's this incident. There was the is it Fukushima?
One, was it like yeah, Fukushima.
Yeah, Fukushima
yeah.
was the nuclear incident after the tsunami. There's an earthquake that caused that whole thing. I think that's kind of a similar case to Chernobyl, where I think there's parts of that area that are still not livable because there's so much nuclear radiation. So it's a fucking scary thing, man.
And we're just out here playing with it. We're
Yeah,
just out here
fucking
playing with it, dropping it
yeah.
on other people.
Fuck it. Ugh.
So, Yamaguchi got blasted again.
Blasted. Jeez.
He looked over at his boss and he said, "Fucking told you." Then he starts making his way back home yet again. This time it's a much shorter walk. And of course, he's frantically panicked about his wife and his child. The city's leveled on fire. Corpses everywhere. People are maimed and walking around, missing parts and missing skin, clothes, whatever. He gets to his house, and it's pretty damaged, but not completely destroyed. But it is empty. He does not see his wife or his child. Over the next couple hours, he goes to another bomb shelter that's nearer to his house, and he finds his wife and his son. They were actually out shopping when the bomb hit, and quite, miraculously, they were walking through a tunnel when the bomb hit.
Oh, shit.
So they were totally fine.
Awesome.
Totally safe.
Wow.
Maybe radiated. I don't know how radiation would travel down a tunnel, but they weren't blown up.
Yeah.
Yamaguchi took just a little bit more damage, but because he was in that building, he was really okay.
Dude, 2 for 2. It's crazy.
2 for 2. So after that, I guess they just made their way. I'm not 100% sure on the details there, but after this, as I said earlier, he goes kind of radio silent. He doesn't want to talk about it. That shit sucked. And he's approached by reporters and news, whatever, for years and years and years. They want to ask him about it, and he just doesn't. He's like, no thanks. Don't want to talk about it. He lives until he finally passes away. So like I said, that happened in 1945. Yamaguchi was born in 1916. And he passed away in 2010.
Damn.
Yeah.
That man lived a life.
He lived a fucking life.
Wow.
And it was not until the early 2000s that he had, I don't know what hit him, maybe old age or something, but he decides, I need to talk about it. I need to tell my story. Yeah. People need to know what happened. And he's really adamant when he's telling the story that he's telling the story to make other people understand the horrific effects of this. Yeah. He's not telling it to make himself a hero. He's not telling it to make himself sound like he's cool, he survived, whatever. Although he did. But he wants humanity to understand the effect that these bombs had and how they royally fucked up his whole week. And try to convince us not to do it again. Yeah. And he spends the last decade of his life kind of giving interviews. He does that documentary. Like I said, it's called Twice. It's phenomenal. And then he actually passed away peacefully of old age.
Wow.
He is the only known recognized person to have survived both blasts back to back to back.
Wow.
Or back to back.
So what about his coworkers? Did they survive, or are they? I guess they might have passed away.
I'm going to assume they passed away.
They might have got hit with a little bit more radiation.
Research that. Yeah, I don't believe he had any long-term ramifications. I mean, obviously he was all fucked up. But he didn't have. He didn't turn into a toothpick man.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah. He didn't. Yeah. He didn't have to deteriorate or, deal with the long-term effects of radiation exposure as well. I mean, it's the list goes on. It's a lot of people, because
Horrific.
the thing I think people don't realize is like, you're not initially, most people again weren't killed by the blast. A majority of the people were killed by the short and long term effects of like major radiation exposure, you know, organ failure, cancer, you know, what have you. Like these fucking, you know, it destroys you. What radiation does to the human body
Inside
is fucking scary, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, it's
But
incredible.
that's the story of Tsutomu Yamaguchi. I told you I'd fuck up that first name. I told you.
Man, jeez, what a fucking guy, man.
I know, dude. We can we'll put some pictures up. I'll put some pictures for you to throw up at the beginning or end or whatever.
I'll throw
But
up. Yamaguchi. That's
Yamaguchi, dude.
The thing I still can't get over is the fact that he was like, well, I did just get nuked, but I got a meeting at 9 a.m. So fucking crazy. You were out of your mind. Like the first thing I'm doing is being like, hey, bud, I'm not coming in today. But I mean, honestly, when you really think about it, going to work kind of saved his fucking life. Like both times. Because if
you're right. If he would have stayed there in the house, he probably just would have laid in bed.
Yeah.
His wife and son would have gone off shopping.
Yeah, and his
he'd
house
gotten blown up again. Potentially more radiation.
Well, and even
house
the first time
on him or something.
If he didn't go to work to go to Nagasaki, is it Hiroshima was the one that got bombed first?
It was Hiroshima.
Yeah. So if he hadn't gone to Hiroshima, he might have been back in Nagasaki and not heard about it. You know, he had been, you know, he'd been like, I don't fucking know anything about this. Oh, you're going shopping? Later. I'm going to chill, dude. It's kind of weirdly enough, him very, very much, you know, right place, right time, I guess. Like,
but like the worst place at the worst time.
True.
Dude. The story is so like, he's so lucky, but he's so unlucky.
Yeah. I think that, oh God, definitely like getting away without being like really harshly irradiated. It's nuts. Dude.
Or even just disintegrated or thrown into a wall and, you know, just concussive damage on your skull or something.
Oh yeah. I mean, because it's definitely, there's an anime, the animated movie called Grave of Fireflies that's on my list that I've been meaning to watch for a very long time.
It's funny you say that because in one of the podcasts that I listened to research this, one of the guys was talking about that and said it's phenomenal.
And it's essentially it's the story of I believe it's two kids that go through a nuclear blast, and it's the lead up, the aftermath, or the lead up, the blast, and the aftermath, kind of following, you know, the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Japanese citizens who were, you know, if not millions, who were either exposed to radiation. They, you know, obviously their home's fucking destroyed. You can't live there for a period of time. I think now it's safe. I don't quote me on that. I think it is.
Assume so. You're talking about Hiroshima?
Yes, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Because there's,
I would assume so.
Radiation
80 years ago.
Radiation takes a really long time to disperse. That's kind of the other, again, it's real nasty shit, man. Takes a really long time to disperse. I've done a little bit of research about nuclear cores and fucking all the everything nuclear, because nuclear is really cool. Like nuclear fission and you know, nuclear energy and all that sort of stuff is very interesting. It's very cool. You know, there's a lot of benefits to it when it's handled appropriately. But man, when it's mishandled, holy shit. Dangerous shit happens. Again, Chernobyl is another really good example of like huge mishandlings of nuclear technology, and just kind of like wanting results over thinking about the actual safety of your populace. So
it's that old like capitalism shooting for the bottom, the bottom line.
Yeah,
the most amount of dollars makes you cut corners. And
there's a really good docuseries, or it's not really a docuseries, it's a series that kind of dramatizes the whole Chernobyl thing, but a lot of it's based on.
Oh, yeah, I remember my wife really liking that, but
really
I didn't
good.
End up watching it.
And very interesting, very truthful. I was watching, I was like, is this a lot of that shit real? And obviously, like, there's some of it that's dramatized. There's characters that are made up to, you know, but there's a lot of it that's pretty fucking accurate. And it's like, oh shit, that's not good.
Didn't that involve like the government trying to hide what was going on?
Yeah, a big part of it is there was issues with the reactors themselves there's a big plot point of the movie themselves, and it's a big kind of thing is the fact that there were failure points within the reactors. To what accuracy this is, I'm not 100%, but it was basically the idea, at least in the show, is that they're trying to figure out why this shit failed, and they figure out why it failed, and the guy who figures out why it failed is like, hey, they're like, hey, bud, don't tell anybody about this. Okay. And it's not until a little bit later, after they kind of solve all the issues with the immediate problem that is Chernobyl, that the guy comes out and is like, hey, this is why this shit failed. You guys need to fix this. And they did fix it, but they wouldn't have if they didn't have to, right? If no one knew, if the populace didn't know, they would have never fucking fixed that shit. They would have let Chernobyl happen 10 times over before they admitted anything. That was the other thing too, it was crazy to see Soviet era Russia and the way that their like ego gets in the way of their populace. Like they were like, fuck you guys. None of this shit is wrong. Everything's okay. Don't point any fingers. Don't look. Everything is okay. Hey, we got some scapegoats. Don't worry about it. But it's not as bad as it could be. And that's like the main premise of the show is like, hey, it's not that bad. And then people are like, it is that bad. We need to figure this shit out. And it's crazy.
Ugh. I do need to watch that.
It's a great show, man. It's a really good show. Oh man. It's a really good show. Yeah. Man. I was just going to go on about nuclear stuff in general as always. It's like,
it's so interesting.
When you think about like the Cold War, man, fucking, the Cold War, the rise of nuclear energy throughout, modern civilization. Because again, Japan still, to my knowledge, uses, and most major countries, like you don't think about it, but a lot of us use nuclear energy. It's very efficient. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But at the same time, we're also kind of inefficient with it because we're still, we still bury a lot of our, used uranium and shit like that. We still, throw that shit underground or fucking, dispose of it the best way we can, because it's fucking dangerous. And the process of everything, like the one of the things I'll spoil a little bit. One of the things that, in Chernobyl, the reactor exploded, and they talk about how there were chunks of the inside of the reactor that were spread out throughout the scene, and the firefighters that got on scene that were thinking, oh, this is just a normal fire, were like touching stuff, not realizing that this is like nuclear core material. And like they depict one of the firefighters, and he picks up a piece of the core, and immediately, within seconds, he's like, oh shit, his hands start melting because it's so much radiation exposure all at once. And he's gone within, weeks as well. It's just fucking, and they talk about it's not only like once you're exposed to that much radiation, you're exposed to it, your body can only absorb so much, and you're still like, you're irradiated. So they have to separate you, and you can't interact with people because you're fucked up. Like, it's nuts, man.
So radiation like binds into your cells and stays in you?
Yeah. Oh,
I guess that makes perfect sense. That's how it works.
Because your body is absorbing it, and it has nowhere else to go except for fucking out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the full science about it. I just know it fucks you up, fucks everyone around you up. It's really bad, but it's really cool.
It's kind of hard to justify dropping that on a city of people twice. Again,
and so here's the thing. You can look at it from both perspectives. Yes, it was horrible. But again, when you're up against an opponent who's like, we're not fucking giving up. We know our back's against the wall, and we know we're losing. And a Japanese front would have been insanely bloody. It would have been insanely bloody. And so the alternative is like, we're going to pull out the biggest gun that we have, the biggest stick that we have. Mind you, this sort of thing is not seen like war again. We used them once, and then there was a lot of scary, with Russia, like, hey, we're going to use them. And never, as far as I'm aware, never once have we used, has any country dropped a nuclear or atomic weapon ever again. So, and yet we have thousands of them.
We got time.
We got time. The one on a little bit of a lighter note, something that I'll mention is I think you should look into, now that you've kind of discovered this aspect of nuclear technology. Look up all the nukes that America's lost, like misplaced. I swear to God.
Misplaced?
Yes. It's really crazy. It's kind of funny. I'm being so serious. We've accidentally lost. So it's like planes that have malfunctioned and crashed in like cornfields. There was on the East Coast, there was a plane that there was there's a plane carrying like 2 nukes, and it crashed in an ocean. At one point they were flying over, I think, like Nebraska, transporting nuclear weapons for storage, and they fucking fell out of the back of this cargo plane, and like 3 or 4 of them got lost, and we couldn't find the 5th one or something like that. Like, dude, it's crazy. I'm so serious. Just look up the nukes that we've lost. It's a wild ride. Some of them just get like, they're like, oh shit, I don't know where that went.
Is USA real? Dude, is this a real country?
I was gonna say, that's just the US. I'm sure other countries have lost their nukes.
Oh my God, there's just nukes everywhere. There's nukes everywhere you go.
Oh man. Yeah, you got to make light of it, as insane as a topic as it is.
I just don't. I am going to research that. That sounds awesome.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So irresponsible. And they're like, oh shit, whoops. It's like, and here's the thing, is like, I think a big part of it for a lot of these situations is like, if these nukes have been activated, it would have destroyed like major areas of farmland that would have affected, you know, whole populations in the US. And then they talk about like, I can't remember what video I watched that was talking about like how the winds would have affected the, you know, like the way that the winds were blowing. It would have blown all of that nuclear fallout like inland. So it would have fucked us up even more, because that fallout would have been carried. It would have been enough fallout to carry like, you know, thousands of miles like across the middle of America and shit. Like, it would have absolutely devastated us. And it's happened like multiple times. And they're like, whoops.
Cool. Well, watch your step, folks. Don't step on a nuke. Yeah, I don't have anything else on this story. Just an incredible. Just walking to work one day, get nuked. Go home, go back to work, get nuked again.
Again, going back to work. Hey, boss, I just got nuked, but I'm here. You're late.
And the boss doesn't believe you. He's like, no, you didn't.
Bullshit,
what's a nuke?
Dude.
And you're like, look.
Holy fuck. He's like, huh? It's still so crazy. Oh, man. What a fucking ride. Well, I appreciate that. That was a crazy fucking story, man. Holy shit. Oh, God. Definitely just not what I was expecting. It's funny because I think at some point you kind of mentioned what you were talking about, and I was like, that sounds crazy. And it was. It was indeed like just a wild ride.
I try to deliver.
Yeah. I think the only thing that I want to end on, this is a bit of a more serious note. You gotta get serious sometimes.
Oh yeah, we haven't been serious at all this episode. Let's get serious. You know what you should do? You should get back to work.
Whatever you're doing, stop it and get back to work. No, I was watching a little bit of the Oscars coverage, and Javier Bardem wore this pin, and I'm not going to even try and butcher the pronunciation, because I think it's in Spanish. And he wore it like years ago. It's a picture of him when he's like 35. I think he's in his like 50s now. But it's this pin. It's in Spanish. It says "Say no to war." And I think that's the only way that we can fucking avoid this shit happening again. Because truly, here's the thing: is like you look at the pros and cons of nuking and not nuking Japan, from a war perspective. But did we even ever need to go to war in the first place? Now, mind you, where Japan was and like what they were doing, real bad shit. Imperialism was really scary. They were doing a lot of crazy shit. Obviously, they wanted war. We probably wanted war too. A lot of people want war. Say no to war. We don't need war.
Makes a lot of money.
It makes a shitload of money. It also costs the every person, the common civilian a lot. We're seeing a lot of that in the world now. We're not going to get fucking super political, but there's a lot of times when you just don't need it, and it's very pointless. And support interactions and not interactions. Wasn't the word I'm looking for. Support these sorts of things in the right moments. If someone's having to defend themselves, or if there's a country that's protecting what they deem as theirs, but at the same time, what's the fucking point? War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Hey.
Say it again. Ah! Bam. Anyways, that's all I'm gonna say. Say no to war. We don't need that shit. Make love, not war. That's it. And daydream. That's what the shirt says.
And take a mental health day when you need one.
For real. If you go through a nuclear explosion, maybe call in, or maybe don't. Maybe it'll save your life to go to war or to go to work. Shit.
I mean, work, war. What's the difference?
What's the difference? And in today's day and age, oh shit. Anything else that you have to any other little wisdom knowledge? Thank you. Subscribe and like and all that jazz.
Yeah, please do. I guess let us know in the comments what you thought of Yamaguchi, and if you think you would go to war. I almost said go to war too. Let us know in the comments if you would go back to work 2 days after getting nuked.
Oh shit. All right. Well, we would love to go back to work after experiencing war. We don't want to go back to war, please. No more war. We would
say
love
no to war.
Say no to war. We would love to go back to work after surviving 2 nuclear blasts. But I believe that was time well meant. I have been dialed in to this drama.
Communication is alpha.